Thank you for coming by, Tori Magoo 44. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming by. I love you guys. And today is the 21st of April. I hope you guys are having an excellent month. I am having a fantastic month. It is some excellent stuff has happened, which I will tell you as it unfolds. But to the people that are on it, thank you so much. It's very, very exciting for me and for a lot of people, I think. So anyway, that's a little bit of a mystery thing, which I'll tell you as it unravels. But there you go. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about love bombing, which is a very integral part of any cult. And you may have heard the word. I had never heard it when you're in Scientology. I'd never heard of love bombing. I didn't hear about it till I got out. But once I heard it, it was like, of course. Now again, a lot of you who have been born with the internet around are going to go, I would never fall for something like that. I would never either. This is one of my favorite things. People will come up to me and I'll just tell them a little bit and they'll go, well, I would never fall for something like that. And it's like you think I would? I wouldn't either. If I had the information that you guys have, and any of the guys that are in Scientology, they wouldn't either. But we didn't. I got in 1969. There was no access to the internet until way at the end of 1990, to give you an idea. So we had many years of mind control before any access to where we could possibly look. And most of them that are still in are way brainwashed on don't look at the internet. You know, it's really evil. And I know for people that look at it, you go, how could anybody buy that? But they're good at what they do. They are. They're very good at what they do. I mean, one example, Nancy Maney, who wrote the book, My Billion-Year Contract, excellent book. Nancy literally did go, well, we were told she went insane because she read the internet. And I know that's going to sound funny, but she did have an awful, awful time. It turned out they had drugged her and reverse audited her, which means auditing is supposed to make you better. Reverse auditing makes you worse. So if you're in and you're getting worse and worse and worse, I had never heard about reverse auditing until I got out. But they do it. They do. They did it on me. Excuse me. So, you know, it's a tricky thing. And then Yachty said, look what happened to Nancy. That's because she was reading the internet, Tori. And I was like, really? I mean, it scared me to death. I was like, oh my God. Now, did I know she got drugged? Did she know she got drugged? I mean, it was like, unbelievable. So, you know, and I'm sure anybody in that's listening to it, they'd go, no way. Yes way. Go read her book. My Billion-Year Contract. I dare you. Okay, so how does love bombing work? Love bombing is like you get in, and the first thing that happens is all these people are using this loaded language, like I told you about, and you're kind of the person on the outside, right? And they're cool people. They're looking like they're having a lot of fun. You know, everything's really great. And it's kind of like as you start learning the language, they start loving you more, right? And again, people are going to go, I would never fall for that. You don't know until you're part of it. And it's kind of like it's exciting. You're doing something that you want to learn. And then as you learn it, they're like, that is so fantastic. Or you do the communication course and you give your success story and they're all like, yay, yay. Everyone's clapping. They're coming up to you afterwards. Oh, that was so fantastic. I loved your win on the communication course. Now, did anybody train me to do that to other people? No. It's just kind of a group peer pressure thing that you step into not really realizing that's what's happening. But it does feel kind of cool. It's my analogy is it's sort of like a flowers where they have just the right amount of sunlight and just the right amount of rain. Everything feels fabulous. And you're just sort of like, this is so great, right? Now you don't realize that's so great only lasts for as long as they want you to have it last. You don't know that behind the curtain there's like 1,000 people that are, you know, very angrily working on making sure that Tori gets to the next thing and and get her over there and get her to the registrar and here's what we need to talk to her about and on and on and on. You're just seeing the kind of the sunlight and the rain and everything feels great. You know, it's fine. Slowly you start seeing a little bit of these people behind the curtain, but it's sort of like, well, those aren't your kind of people. That's just those guys that do that. And you're like, okay. And people in cults who get out say they've seen different things throughout their years of being in a cult that are just weird. They're not really part of what they thought it was, but you just sort of put it in a closet, because that's part of what they do too, is keep you very, very busy, especially in the beginning, but really all the time. You're always, always busy. You've got to help the group. They really, really need you. You're really, really important. So you're like, okay, I'll get that done. Oh, thank you so much. That was so great. Wow, you were just the perfect person for it. If you hadn't come along, I don't know what we would have done, but you got it done, and there you go. And I'll give you a little story for me that's so hokey, it's ridiculous. But what's his name? Stallone's brother, Frank Stallone, was in Scientology. I don't know if he still is or not, but he was. And when we went up to Portland, they got 10,000 people to fly up to Portland to try to picket this lady who was suing the church. She actually won, just for anybody who's lurking. They lied. They lie all the time and say they won, but they didn't win. She won. But anyway, we were all up there. Stallone was there. I was helping the director that was putting on shows and everything to keep everybody entertained and busy so that they'd stay, right? And he had asked to get some water. They had all these girls, these young girls that had, celebrity assistant, right? And they were all so busy being around the celebrities that they weren't getting anything done. So my friend Pat Gualtieri said, could you just get Frank Stallone a glass of water? So I go running up to the hotel, get the water, bring it down, give it to Frank Stallone. And Pat's like, oh, I can't thank you enough. Now, he's not faking it. He means it. Because they're just these, knucklehead chicks that are so busy being starstruck, they're not getting anything done. But again, he's just like, oh, you're the perfect person. If I hadn't had you, I don't know what I would have done. And you hear that a lot. Yachty used to say that to me. It's like whatever they know that you need that'll move you forward, they'll use. Some people, they wouldn't care about that. But they might say, well, you know what, finances, and we really need some help on that. Or whatever it is, you're the perfect person that got that done. And it sounds really hokey, but it's done enough in little stages, and it just, again, creates that kind of sunshine. Again, there's some very dark clouds that come in, but you kind of tuck those into the closet, because it's like, well, I don't know what that is, but that's not really Scientology. We used to say, if it isn't fun, it isn't Scientology, right? And it's like, for you guys that are still in, if you're lurking, come on. It is so far from that. It did. We all of us who were in way back in the 60s and early 70s, we did have a lot of fun back then. It was pretty goofy, pretty fun. There was a lot of hair-raising stuff that went on, but for a lot of us, we had a lot of good times. And it's way different than it is now. So when you get this love bombing, it's sort of like you're on, my analogy is it's kind of like you hop on a train. You don't know it's mind control. You just think, I'll hop on, I'll try one course. You try the course. You have a little win. You give it. Everyone's applauding. Oh, that's fantastic. Wow. Oh, your win helped me so much. Thank you so, so much. And you're like, really? Really? Oh, okay. And you're thinking, but I'm going to get off this train. And they're like, no way. You've got to go. You're in the first car. There's like 50 cars till you get to clear. And you've got to go clear. You're the person who said you wanted to be an auditor, right, Tori? Which is why I got in. I wanted to help other people. And they're like, you're just a Dianetic auditor. You've got to do all this training to get up to where you can really help people. And that's really what you said you wanted. And we're going to help you with it all the way along. We're going to help you with it. We'll be there. And if that person or those people are not enough, they bring in more people and more people until finally you're like, okay, all right, I've heard enough. I'll do it. Okay, here's my money. And again, someone asked me recently, and thank you for that question, wasn't the money a big red flag? Because, yes, other religions have donations or even tithing, but they don't have it. Scientology is absolutely 100% a business. You have to pay every single level, every single time, all the time. But, again, when you get in, they keep it very factioned off, where you're just paying for the communication course, and you're just paying for this, and look at the big wins you're having on it. And why don't you get this book? I mean, this book will really help you out on it. Well, now you're an auditor. You've got to get a meter. Well, now we've got a better meter. This is more sensitive. I mean, that one was 500. This one's 2,000, but it's way more sensitive. So you're going to be able to help way more people. So they always have your quote-unquote ruin, whatever it is that you feel is hurting your life. And they constantly remind you of that this is going to help you with that, right? So it's very insidious. And remember, in Scientology, they have training and they have auditing. The auditing is like counseling. Training is where you learn to help other people. And I dug training. I really did. I loved helping other people on the lower end of the bridge. And it's sort of like talk therapy. That's my analogy. They have little processes and stuff like that. But it's basically kind of you're sitting and telling things and running little processes, and you feel better, and that's the way it is. So to me, I enjoyed it. The OT levels are complete science fiction BS as far as I'm concerned. I've met some people who really think they had huge wins on them, and I'm not going to say either way on that. That's up to them. And I know people ask me to say, no, they didn't. But I'm not going to say that. No matter if it's complete delusion, if they honestly believe it, that's their choice. Who am I to say, no, you didn't? You know what I mean? It just isn't. I agree on the medical abuse. It is complete and utter bullshit that they promote, that they can heal or cure or anything, which they don't say anymore now because of people like me, where they got me off my medicine for epilepsy and I nearly died on it. It was just a mess. And another guy did die that they got off their medicine. So now they don't say that anymore. But it's implied in all the tech that you should be able to and you can. But I'm going to tell you right now, no. If you have a medical condition, take your medicine, see a doctor, and if you're seeing a Scientology doctor, see another doctor who's not a Scientology doctor, because I have known many people who have died under Scientology doctors' care. So you want to find somebody who isn't a Scientology doctor for that. So anyway, back to love bombing. If you're around it, and it's not like you can't have love bombing and something else. You might, but the difference, and here's the major difference. You can go, well, is Tori telling the truth? Or they? They're going to say I'm a liar. I'm not saying they're lying. I'm just saying look at both sides. That's my thing. Don't just believe me. Go look at my side, their side, other people's side, their side, other people's videos. You know what I mean? Like, look at all of it, and then you make up your own mind. I know you're going to make the right decision. But the checkmate comes because they can't say that. They can't ever say that. There's no cult that can ever say look at both sides. Because if you look at both sides, you're going to be out the door, and they know it. And that's checkmate. So there you go. Look at both sides. Make up your own mind. And if you're in, get out. The way out is the nearest door. Take it. All right. Peace out. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.